Hello, designers. Today, I wanted to give you a couple of quick reminders. The first one being about where you're going to go when you come in each day to NOLA Labs. So as you look at the maps, you're going to make sure that your daily is completed. If you haven't done any of the daily tasks on the daily map, you need to make sure you get all those finished. Those are basic classroom management, reminders, updates about what's going on in DT. They're really important, basic level stuff, and these won't ever take more than about 5 minutes to do. So that's step one. Step two is to look at Think Design and make sure that you've completed that. Almost everybody has by now, but keep in mind that we're going to be adding new columns. You don't see Foundation yet, but next week, this column is going to appear. And then you will have 2 weeks from when it appears to complete it before that second medallion is going to be required for access to all of the other maps. Right now, all the other maps require 1 designer badge. In 3 weeks, so this week everything stays the same. Next week, Foundations opens up. 2 weeks after that, all the other maps are going to require 2 designer badges. So you'll have to complete those. So keep your eye on Think Design and make sure that you are completing it as it opens up deeper throughout the semester. These ones are important because they're about DT, they're about creativity, they're about the design cycle, and all of the aspects of overall, what is DT about? The content level at the 10,000 foot height of DT, not drilling down into the specific subjects. Then sketching. Some of you have asked me about sketching, and in particular, I wanted to say I would recommend you do 1 of these a day and maybe redo some of them as you are still working on it. Doing circles, ellipses, and cylinders once doesn't necessarily mean that you're super comfortable with cylinders, ellipses, and circles. Maybe you want to keep doing that a few days in a row or a few classes in a row, and then a couple days while you're working on your other classes that you don't, so that you really nail that skill. Get really comfortable with everything on the Sketching Basics column by practicing it over and over. I promise that you'll get a lot more out of it by doing 1 a day than you would by doing all of that and then moving on. You won't get as much out of it by doing it that way. Just like doing it over the course of a semester is much better than cramming everything at the last minute before a test. You just don't learn it nearly as well if you don't practice it over and over. And then go on to the other ones. The other thing I wanted to mention today is that there is a challenge that's coming up called the Bibris challenge. It's offered worldwide. We follow the US one because we're an American school, but it is offered in almost every country. So if you want it in a different language, it's very likely that it's offered somewhere that it will be in the language of your preference. And it's a challenge in the way that we think. It's a challenge of computational thinking. It has various different levels designed for different age groups. And here's an example of one of the challenges from a previous year. So this is 1 question from the challenge. There's usually 10 to 15 questions. And this one says, look at the towers. If a tower is well placed, click it. Well placed means all the towers to the left are shorter. All the towers to the right are taller. So if I look here, this tower has nothing to the left, and this one is shorter. So this one is not well placed. This one has a taller one to the right, not well placed. This one looks right. Everything here is taller, everything here is shorter. Here again, not going to work. Not going to work. This one should be good. There we go. So it's about thinking. It's like puzzles. And there we go. Looks like that's the right answer. Oh, no, it looks like it's the wrong answer. Anyway, should be fun.